Gum?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Alright, check again.
Doesn't.
We're live.
Oh, did it do the...
Did you do what?
Oh, I didn't know if it said your signal's not strong enough to...
You have to click on it, right?
It didn't say it this time.
There it is.
There it
you
is.
are.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Boom.
Perfection.
What's up? Oh, it's lagging a little bit.
Look at these handsome guys.
Gents?
Is my head like half in it?
My knees are in my
a
throat.
little bit. Say
Do I need
something.
to go like this?
Now you're
Hello?
blocking my eye.
Hey.
You're blocking my shots.
I'm not blocking your shot.
He is.
No, he's not. When he leans in, it's perfectly... You wouldn't know that we work in...
Oh my god. My foot. This is highly unorthodox.
Hello?
Hello?
So are you recording this too into the Zoom?
This is... Yeah. I thought you said Zune.
Alright.
Alright, hold on a second. There we go. That ought to do it.
Leave it. Don't touch it.
I never realized that this was white.
Yep, it's white.
There we go.
Looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I'll lean in.
Okay. Matt, you're going to be our social media manager, but let's all just remember, one, I'm going through puberty, and two, that this is a podcast. So even though there's a visual element today, it's mostly for the listeners at home, as this is a publicity stunt. All right.
For all the publicity that
you
we
ready?
expect to
Yeah, go
achieve.
for it.
Well, don't hold the phone the whole time.
I'm looking.
How's it look?
It looks great.
Damn right.
You
All right.
especially.
And 3, 2, 1. Welcome to This Week in Film. Welcome to this fortnight in film.
Hello!
It's been about a month
Hi.
since we've had a show. Sorry. There's been some life events and, stuff gets in the way. Also, I wasn't working on Wednesdays for whatever reason. So I didn't get to see these guys except every other day of the week.
It's been a real
Turn the
blast.
volume down on that. So we don't hear ourselves. Like.
Welcome to the special Facebook Live edition of This Week in Film. We're going to be sitting in Studio B.
Oh, there's one of our fans.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, if you saw him, that's one of our...
He's got on his fancy earphones. They're yellow.
Studio B, or this is A?
No, yeah, you're
This
right.
is
It's
Studio
A. Although it might be Studio A for the last time,
Yes.
as Ray is moving on to other pastures.
So is Matt.
Yeah, but Matt says he's
Matt'll
still
be
going to
here.
be a part of the show.
Matt's
Yeah.
still going to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
My contract is up, and I asked for more money, and Nick decided not to give it to me, so I'm
No.
leaving.
Yeah, absolutely no money.
My demands were not met.
People with podcasts out there, Ray's a free agent.
Ray is available
Yeah.
as of probably half an hour from now.
He'll do podcasts or he'll do like birthday parties.
He does do birthday parties.
Mhm.
He kind of just eats the cake and moves on, but he's still there. All right, so if you're...
wasn't funny.
I'll cut it out of the Facebook Live.
We'll fix it in
We'll
post.
fix that in Facebook post. And all right, so if you're just tuning in, this is a podcast that we do every week. Basically, occasionally once a month. Basically, we get together and we talk about the movies we watched over the past 7 days or so, and then we just talk about them, as I just said. And Ray,
Whoa.
what did you see in
I wasn't
film this
expecting
week?
that. So I haven't
It's your
been on the
last, your last go.
Yeah, it's my last
Make it a
go.
good
I haven't
one.
been on the show in a very long
You
time.
want to do a quick recap of everything
So
you've
recap. It's been a while.
seen this month in film?
I saw a lot of stuff. But I think the best movie I saw in the past month or so was a little film called Get Out.
Oh. The horror-
you may
horror
or may
movie?
not have heard of it. Yes, horror movie, thriller, comedy, social commentary movie. It's got a lot to go with it. Written and directed by Jordan Peele of Key and Peele fame.
Mm-hmm.
If you know who that is. The movie stars a couple people. See, I usually look at my phone for this and tell you like who it stars, but I'm not going to look at my phone right now. So it stars a couple people.
Blind.
I'm definitely gonna look at
the guy from
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror and Sicario.
Oh, is it the dude?
Yeah,
from,
that's
Black
actually-
Mirror with
Okay.
the.
I'm just gonna look at my phone. Screw this.
Oh,
Ray's
Jesus.
Sorry,
looking
guys.
at his phone.
Mm.
Guy from Black Mirror wasn't specific enough for Ray.
The movie stars Danielle Kaluuya, that's his name. Allison Williams, who's from Girls. Bradley Whitford, who you may remember from Billy Madison. Caleb Landry Jones. Catherine Keener. So, basic premise of the movie is Danielle Kaluuya and Allison Williams are dating. Newly dating. They've only been dating for about like 4 or 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
He is African American, she is white, and they are going upstate to visit her parents for the first time. He's a little concerned that, since he's African American and she's white, that her parents, they're just going to be unexpected. They're not expecting it. She has told him repeatedly that she's not going to tell them until they get there, that they're going to be cool with it. He believes her, but at the same time, he's like, it's going to be a little bit of a shock to them. I'm sure they're not thinking that I'm an African American guy.
Right.
So he's a little hesitant at first. So they drive up there, and on the way up, they hit a deer.
Oh dear.
And when they hit the deer, police officers called, and immediately, right from the jump, like the police officers kind of like, "Hey man, like what are you doing in this area?" type of deal.
Okay.
Which immediately starts the whole movie is very uncomfortable, I would say, with the way people approach things, and the way the officer approaches talking to the guy is, I forget what his name is. What's his name in the movie? I forget. The way he approaches talking to Daniel is very offsetting. Girlfriend sticks up for him. They kind of move on. But then once they get to the house, which is a very nice house in like the middle of the country.
Sorry, is it a little bit like Rambo with the, you're just passing through,
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah. Like you're not gonna be staying here, are you?
Right. Okay.
So as soon as they get to the house, Catherine Keener and Bradley Whitford are the parents, and they're very welcoming, but they're almost like too welcoming, and that immediately starts the uncomfortableness of everything. They're very nice. They're very approachable. They're easy to talk to, but like the whole movie, you like have this feeling like something's off here, and he feels that too. And he kind of expresses it to his girlfriend. What are you guys reading the comments that people are saying?
I'm listening to you.
You're, good one.
Kind of expresses it to his girlfriend.
Is Ray not even in the show?
Am I not?
He's sort of
Hello?
People are asking to
Or asking what? Go. We'll take
Yeah,
live
yeah,
comments.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt.
It says
Matt's our social media.
Please pan the camera right.
Our right or your right?
Well, you can barely see Ray because he keeps moving around.
Okay.
Well, you gotta call this stuff out.
Can
You're
I-
not watching this.
What if I stay like this? Can you see me now?
I don't know.
I think you can.
We're
You
getting
must be
angry
able to.
faces from Jonathan Mauer.
Well, Jonathan can
Who?
shove it.
Yeah,
Who?
some guy.
Yeah, exactly. Who?
Ask him how Indiana Jones 4 was.
Somebody asked if we can call lighting.
All right.
Does it look
All right.
bad?
Camera right.
let's
Camera right.
Camera right.
Yeah,
Let's continue with my
that
talking
way. Turn it
again.
that way. That way.
Yeah. That's what
Your
I'm doing.
left.
I'm going.
How's that?
Yeah, that's better.
Looks like we're kind of pointing up though.
Ian.
Let's see.
I think that's better.
I'm gonna
I guess.
read your texts as they come in.
No, I guess.
All right. So anyway,
That's much better, sort of.
so there's definitely
It's
a
all
weird.
headshot.
It's all, there's so much headroom at the top. It's
What if I go? Like
yeah. Sit up.
this?
Everyone sit up. I need a telephone book.
So, continuing on with the movie.
yes, please.
So the entire time the movie is very uncomfortable. Like there's two African American servants that work at the house that he's
Yeah.
like weirded about. They don't really talk much, and they're like kind of off. Every time he tries to interact with them, they're
with some light
very
signs.
weird.
Yeah.
And then the entire time, like I said, it's very uncomfortable. But the entire time, the entire movie, he's constantly interacting with his friend back home, who's played by, I forget what the guy's name is. It's like a weird name.
you know that guy?
He's
Or
like
something?
he's like a comedian.
Oh, it's
Um,
not Hannibal Buress.
No, he looks like Hannibal Buress. Anyway, he's his friend back home, and they're constantly like FaceTiming or talking on the phone. And he's like the comedic relief of the movie. So like every time this guy like called or like came on screen, you kind of felt like a sigh of relief. You're like, oh, thank God, because seriously, the entire movie is like you're just uncomfortable the whole time, just like everything that's going on. The movie starts to the plot starts to unravel a bit, and stuff starts to happen, and you start to see that maybe things aren't what they seem at this house, and more specifically in the neighborhood as well, like where these people live. And that is kind of where I want to stop. Like, you don't want to give too much away. Obviously, there's like not a twist, but there's like more to the story. But if I give that away, it's going to ruin the movie a little bit. So I would just say to go see it. It's definitely great. As a horror movie, as a thriller, it's like very offsetting. As like a social commentary on the way like certain people view other people, and like when you maybe think you're being nice or you think you're being accommodating to somebody, you may be actually putting them off even more the way you do that. So that's kind of like the commentary that the movie has. And I just thought it was very smart. It's very, very good. Jordan Peele, I think, has got a big, bright future as a director in general. I don't know if he's going to stick to horror or the thriller type of movie that he did here. Like I said, there's a lot of comedy that's kind of built inside the movie. The ending will like blow you away. Just where the movie actually ends up going is a complete. It's not what you expect. That's all I'll say.
Just go for the ride.
Just go for the ride. Don't read any spoilers. Don't talk to anybody before you see it. Just kind of watch it. Go in with an open mind, and I think you're really gonna like it. I liked it a lot. Get Out.
Great.
Yeah, I saw it as well. I liked it.
Oh.
A lot of film theory in.
Feel free to jump in anytime.
Well, I was back here reading our feed.
Oh, what do we got? We got anything else?
The movie I'm Not Saying to Leave. I don't know. People are yelling. People have infighting on our thread.
Oh, what are they saying?
They're saying "get out" and saying you get out, and then someone saying the movie.
You can say their names. They're talking.
Oh, Jonathan and Judy.
Oh.
Judy said I totally forget what movie he's talking about. Jeffrey Heft says, "Pay attention, Matt," because I kept looking around. It's true. It's true. Good catch.
Thanks for keeping us on task.
Yeah. No, the movie's got a lot of film theory, like for instance, the sunken place. I'm not giving it like a lot away.
Right.
That I would say like talks about how people are being marginalized currently. I'm not gonna get too much into that, but there's a lot going on. I don't want to give anything. Oh no,
yeah,
my phone's dying.
The parents have a particular set of skills that you'll find out pretty early in the movie.
They're good at rescuing children from the French
mother,
traffickers.
Yeah, well, like the mother's a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and
right.
the father is a neurosurgeon.
Right. So and that goes along with the whole movie. And like I said, you don't want to give too much away.
It's
but
not so much a horror, so much as like a suspense thriller.
Yeah, psychological thriller, I would say.
And it's got a very slow burn to it. So.
Very, very slow burn.
Yeah.
Where'd you go, Ray?
What?
Ray, you moved again.
Sorry.
Go on. This is. Ray can't get
well,
out
great.
of this podcast quick enough.
Great discussion.
Great to be back.
Yeah.
Great discussion. We're a little rusty, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're going on live video. Matt.
Hello.
What did you watch this week?
I watched a movie called Silence.
Segues.
Yes. They're good.
Silence.
What did you watch?
Silence. It's the Martin Scorsese movie that was nominated for Best Cinematography this year. It's his passion project that he's been trying to make for like 25 or 30 years.
That's ridiculous that Martin Scorsese has trouble getting a movie made.
Yeah.
Well, it's not very accessible, is it, Matt?
The movie?
Yeah.
No, it's on Amazon Prime. You can rent it. $5.99.
Great.
No, I
free
think-
plug
I
for Amazon
I
Prime.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't
On
think-
Facebook.
Yeah,
Send me
what's your password for that? Matt?
If you guys want my Netflix, hit me up again. It's fine. It's MatthewV3@gmail.com. That's fine.
He'll give you his
Amazon
Netflix
Prime,
password.
You're
really
not
well.
buying stuff from my Amazon Prime account. All right. But no, the movie is. I
think what Ray's trying to say is that the average moviegoer isn't gonna.
Right. This isn't for everybody. I haven't seen it, but I just know, I can tell that it's not for everybody. Right?
I mean, I wouldn't. Just go ahead and decide people aren't going to like this movie.
Sorry. Continue.
Is any movie for anybody?
No.
Yeah.
Sorry. Continue.
Yeah.
What am I
Wow.
talking about here?
Wow. What the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like Judy and Jonathan right now.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of fighting going on today. Like judge match right there. Anyway, so the movie takes place.
Judge match?
It's what it says on our thread.
Oh.
People were giving us mean
faces.
Mean faces.
They can
Oh
all shut up.
no. All right, go ahead, Matt.
All right,
Continue.
so
Don't worry about what the people are saying.
Silence.
The movie is. I was not. I thought that I was going to hate this movie and turn it off. But I saw that it's 2 hours and 41 minutes long.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Again, not for everybody.
Not for everybody. I mean, it's.
Well, who are you to decide that for anyone else?
It's true. People like to watch things. The story is about 2 priests who are sent to Japan. I believe it's like the 1500s. It's a true story. Anyway, they're sent to Japan to find a priest who had gone maybe like 7 or 8 years before, and from Portugal, and had not reported back. So
it's like Apocalypse Now.
It's exactly well, sort of. So that's exactly I was just describing this movie 20 minutes before we got over here, and I said it's like Apocalypse Now but with priests. But it's very violent. I did not realize the history of Christianity in Japan.
How did I join the Facebook Live thing? It says I joined.
Maybe your wife joined from home?
Oh, hi.
Yeah. Joe, hi. I'm Matt.
Hi, this is Matt and Ray.
Yeah. So, anyway, the movie is... Jesus. Oh, God. Anyway, so... These 2 priests, they go to Japan. In Japan at the time, Christianity is not allowed to be practiced. You are taken and tortured until you apostatize, which means you say you don't believe in Christianity anymore and you believe in Buddhism again. So it's the whole movie essentially is just one torture sequence after another, but the pacing is fantastic. So there's never a time where you're like, oh God, is this movie ever going to end? At least there wasn't for me. The cinematography is, I mean, this is a masterpiece. I'm not gonna like it literally
wow.
It's a masterpiece.
Hot take.
The cinematography,
wow.
the music, the acting, not just from Adam Driver and Andrew Garfield.
I was gonna say, who's in it?
It's Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver, and then there's
Spider-Man and Kylo Ren.
yeah, and then Qui-Gon Jinn.
Traveling to Japan.
Other, yeah, Qui-Gon. Liam Neeson is the other character, and then every other character in the movie is Japanese, and I think every other character in the movie except for like one person. He's a famous actor. I can't remember his name, but anyway, they're all
Bill
Japanese.
Paxton?
No.
Oh, by the way, Bill Paxton died like while we were on hiatus,
yeah.
and
Cut me off.
This is important.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would just like to say that I'm sorry because I said that I hated Bill Paxton. Like a couple of weeks before he died, we were talking about most hated actors, and he was my number 1 most hated actor. And I'm not gonna fall back on that. Like I hated him as an actor, but I'm sorry that he's now passed.
Game over, man. Game over.
Anyway, continue.
So, oh God, that's when I get through this.
He was great in Spaceballs.
Yeah. Wait, that's Bill.
Oh man, somebody's not enjoying that.
He called you an asshole. Oh no. What movie is this again?
Since I'm the only one
I'm talking
listening.
about not hiatus. I'm talking about Silence.
Silence.
Yes. So anyway, the movie, you just watch a bunch of people being tortured. The Japanese actors in the movie, you've never seen them before, and for me, the one call out was that I was so I was able to just go escape into the movie because I didn't recognize these people, and every time you see them on screen, you're like, oh, I hate that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I do recommend this movie if you ever have 3 hours to kill to watch a movie that is like a 3-hour art film. It doesn't really pick a side on Christianity or Buddhism. I mean, the protagonist is Catholic, so it sort of does, but it also talks about why they don't want Christianity to be preached in Japan at the time, and it does make sense when you think about it. Anyway, check it out. I'm going to end this right now because I just don't have much else to say about it without giving the whole movie away.
All right.
So
Silence.
Yeah, Silence.
Well, that brings me to our third movie. And I don't know if you've seen it yet, right? We didn't get a chance to talk.
I have not seen it yet, but you guys can go ahead and talk about it. I don't care.
But I saw Logan.
That's a good movie.
And it was a good movie. It was excellent. Get it? Hilarious joke. And because he's an X-men.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And
we got there.
Yeah. It's always good when you have to explain it. And so, if you don't know, Logan stars Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, and it was directed by James Mangold. I thought it was excellent. It's basically, it takes place like 30 some years into the future. It's an X-Men movie, so it's about mutants and stuff, but this movie exists in a period of time where mutants have been eradicated for whatever reason. There's a lot of referencing to previous events that haven't been covered in movies yet, and that's okay in this movie. They reference a lot of stuff that goes on in the past 30 years or so. Like at one point they talk about Professor X. Professor X is kept up. Wolverine keeps him in this perpetual drugged state, so he can't use his mental powers, because at some point in the past he was responsible for the deaths of hundreds of people because he started losing his mental facilities. And so it takes place in the future. Wolverine is giving up on life, basically. He's like a full-on alcoholic at this point. He works in Texas and drives back and forth to Mexico to give Professor X his medicine, and eventually along the way they get roped into this whole deal with this secret. I don't want to give too much away because the movie is very good, but if you've seen the trailers, you know that there's this little girl who also has claws similar to Wolverine, kind of a thing. And basically Wolverine and Professor X have to transport this girl from one place to another, and it really just kind of turns into a road western, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's like a lone man against the world kind of a thing. It has a very small feel, unlike X-Men Apocalypse, which sucked this past year, which
sucked.
Yeah, but the whole world was at stake because of Apocalypse. This movie has a very specific feeling.
So Apocalypse does not show up in this movie.
Apocalypse has nothing to do with this movie. This movie barely references any of the other X-Men movies.
Gotcha.
If anything, it's just like a passing line, and
it's very it's very centralized on just like how it affects Logan.
Yeah, it's very small film where it's a Wolverine movie that we should have gotten the entire time, but I would say
it's a little small, like $300 million movie.
Well, no, I mean like small in the scope of
in
the film. But I thought it was excellent. I thought it was really good. I would highly recommend seeing it, but it is not for children. It is probably one of the most graphically violent movies I've seen in a really long time.
I took my 12-year-old nephew opening day.
Oh, there you go.
And
great job, man.
Two minutes into the movie, a claw goes through someone's skull, and I was like, "Oh my God, what?" And then he beheads someone. And my nephew I look over at him, he goes, "This is the greatest movie I've ever seen." And I was like, "Please don't tell your mother. Please, God, don't tell your mother." So.
But yeah, without giving too much away, I loved it. I really loved it. It was great.
Matt?
I thought, other than The Dark Knight, it's the best comic book movie that's been made thus far.
Bold statement.
Yeah, I think it was better than anything, like any Civil War, any one of those movies.
Well, see, now I think I'm probably gonna like it because I don't necessarily not like the Marvel movies that have come out recently, but I gravitate towards more of a darker, movie like a Dark Knight,
like a Crow,
right? Something like that.
I like Deadpool a lot. Like I really like. Deadpool,
I still have never seen Deadpool either.
What? Oh man, Deadpool's awesome.
Yeah, like the comic book movies just don't really appeal to me that much. That's why I haven't seen Logan yet. Not that I won't see it, but I go see other things before these type of movies, just for whatever reason.
Doctor Strange?
I did see Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I mean it's not like that at all.
Right.
This origin story.
It's not like Deadpool at all either, where they're both. I mean, they're both in that category of a rated R comic book movie with the amplified violence and the amplified language. But as far as tone and I don't want to say sophistication of the story, but the adult nature of the story, not adult in the sense of, oh, you don't want your kids to watch this, but like with a lot of heavy themes and a lot of just this is just a man who's old at this point, you know, and there's a lot that comes along with that.
It's kind of like
it's a very mature movie.
Yeah,
I guess.
it's like,
but without like all the
leg.
hardcore pornography that Ray has come to enjoy.
That's all he talks about.
What can I say?
Yeah, but no, it's very much like these characters you're just kind of like, oh, like this is like, where could they ever go from here? Like this is like the end of them.
So this is
sort of like you're like Professor X, like he's saying he's been drugged up. It's like, oh, is this guy, how's he ever going to get better?
Right.
Like you're thinking to yourself like, oh, this is like, if this is like the finale of like the story of this human being, you know, or mutant or whatever you want to call him, you know, like this is not how you would ever expect that character, like when you first met him in the year 2000, to like be like when he was like 90 years old.
No,
you know?
isn't Wolverine is Wolverine immortal?
He's 250 years old, but they talk about how he's like losing his powers.
Gotcha.
So he can't heal as quick.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Because I remember like in the older X-Men movies, like you see him like in World War II and stuff like that.
Let's not talk about that movie.
Yeah, but they're talking about
exist.
like the mutant gene caused cancer, so all of the mutants die of cancer.
Okay.
Is that what they said?
That's what that's what they're talking about, is like all of the mutants die of cancer because the mutant gene causes them all to die. So that's why there's no other.
But he's still alive.
Yeah, there's
and so is Professor X.
Yeah, there's like only a few.
Yeah, there's like a few of them out there.
What about Nightcrawler? Is he still involved?
They don't reference
him.
He's not breakdance fighting like in X-Men Apocalypse. All right, so that was Logan. Now, because we're doing the that we're doing the special Facebook Live show live, we're gonna do a special movie because it was brought to us by a filmmaker. The filmmaker contacted me on the internet and said, "Hey, you guys watch movies. Do you want to watch this movie?" And I said, "Sure." And we've all watched it. It's a movie. It's a movie called Road to the Well. It was directed by. Can I get your phone right? It was directed by John Savak. Written and directed by him on a crazy minuscule budget of. I think I can't find where I got the information, but budget.
While you're talking, we have like 7 viewers.
Hey, people!
All of them are heckling you.
Why? What'd I do?
You're just you.
I'm very attractive.
You're lit harshly.
I have the sun. Ray didn't want to open the roof.
Yeah, you know,
I can't.
That's why we're in this.
Oh yeah, I can actually. It's gonna be really cold if I do.
You know,
I brought a coat.
if anybody has a better studio for us to use, although Studio A? Is that what we said?
Studio A.
Studio. Oh, this whole time we could have been calling it Studio Ray. Anyway, we saw
Studio
Road
V
to
is
the
right
Well.
Yeah, John. Here's this.
It's directed by John Savak. Written and directed by him. It stars Micah Potter and Lawrence Fuller. And I liked it. I thought it was a very well shot movie. The story is a little weak, but as far as cinematography goes and music and sound, I thought it was great. Now, in all fairness, I might be giving the director of the movie a pass because he came to us to watch his movie and give it a review, so I'm not sure how that affects my what's that word? What's the word?
Judgment?
Not judgment. I'll think of it. I'll think of the word.
Okay.
But
credibility?
Credibility? No. There's a different word.
Okay.
Anyway, basically the story is about a guy works at like random conglomerate business office. He hates his job, and he finds out that his girlfriend's cheating on him. And at the same time, a friend of his comes into town. He's basically a drifter, and
Matt character.
Yeah. That dude had the drifter character played by Micah Parker.
He was the only guy I actually recognized in the movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know why. I think he's been on other, like, stuff.
I thought he had the best hair I've ever seen on a person.
Which you can appreciate.
You probably...
I didn't realize how bad my hairline is until I saw it on sideways on this thing. And
a few like luscious locks in there.
no,
Luscious locks.
Luscious. Anyway, so his buddy shows up in town at the same time that he finds out that his fiance's cheating on him, and they go out drinking. They hit it pretty hard, and the main character goes home with this girl.
They hit it pretty hard.
Yeah. And he wakes up basically next to his car. The girl is dead. And does the screen go all crazy when that happens?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's only 4 people. Why everyone has abandoned ship. And so anyway, he wakes up next to this girl's body in the car, and he calls his buddy the Drifter to help him figure out what to do. And without giving too much away, the movie goes on from there, and it really turns into a murder road comedy kind of a movie, is the best way to describe it. I thought it was pretty cleverly done. Some of the acting here and there and some of the scenes could have been dropped. But overall, I enjoyed it, and it looks fantastic. 90% of the movie, I think, is shot at night, and most of the time when you see a low-budget movie, like some cheap horror movie, it looks real grainy and terrible, and this movie looked like it was shot for a few $1 million. So, did you guys have anything to say?
I thought the movie looked great.
Matt?
I didn't really like
review.
I didn't really like it that much.
Yeah. Look, the movie looked really good. The guy had, I don't know if this is his first movie or what, but like the movie, the story, the style, none of it made any sense, because it just seemed like halfway into the movie, he's like, oh, let's make this a comedy for like,
the movie had no idea
15 minutes, and then let's make it
had no idea what it wanted to be.
Yeah, it has it has some tone
let's
issues.
make it like No Country for Old Men, and then it's got pacing issues. But I mean,
But
it's way better than anything I could have done.
It's not terrible.
But
I mean, like,
I definitely agree. But I definitely wanted to know how it was going to end. Like, I was like, all right, well, let's see where we're going here. So, anything else?
No. I thought the idea for the movie was great. Like the premise was great. I just thought it stumbled in a couple spots. The acting was a little harsh, but I mean that's what you get. That's what you get when you.
Hit it hard. What? Not a firm handshake? I like that. Oh. Joe Panunto, actually, she's a real fan. Firm handshakes all of my dates end.
I just thought it kind of stumbled a little bit with the acting, but that's what you get from a small independent movie. You're not going to get like great actors.
Yeah.
And the music at times, along with the tone, it went along with the tone, and it just didn't know what kind of movie it wanted to be. So one second you had ominous music, and next second you had like upbeat. Yeah, weird, so that stuff kind of threw me off. But no, like you said, ultimately, like, you definitely want to see how it ends. The plot was interesting enough where I wanted to keep going. So yeah, it was definitely a good first effort from a director who maybe will keep making more movies.
Yeah.
We look like 3 drunks in this car right now.
Who says we're not drunk?
Oh wow!
Oh man, that would be great.
Yeah, I wish I was drunk.
Except for whatever.
Except for me, because I'm driving.
because you're driving, and that would be irresponsible.
It'd be better if we were driving doing this.
Oh my god.
That's what we should do next week.
Speaking of which,
yeah. Speaking of which,
tune in next week.
Right.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of the show. Ray, thanks for being a part of it.
Absolutely. I will. This isn't my last show. I will be back.
Yeah, Ray will be
in some
back. Like
capacity.
Tony and Charlie will be back at some point too. Matt G is going away. He says bye to all his fans.
Goodbye, Matt G.
Oh, and we got some feedback from a listener.
Oh, feedback.
Who said that we don't have enough female hosts or any, and it's not for a lack of trying.
So maybe open call out?
Yeah, open call out. Perhaps this Judy lady who says that she's always wanted to be on the show and might live 5 minutes away yet never shows up.
Come on
wants
out.
to be on the show, Judy. Yeah, so listener who said we're the ladies, we try. They just don't, look at the hair.
Look at all the hair in this car.
Listeners who said the show was great, but then gave us 4 out of 5 stars. Awesome. I appreciate that.
I don't mind.
It was great.
Dude, should we take questions from the people watching?
Yeah.
People watching, do you have any questions?
Now there's a delay, so we're going to have to sit here for a second.
And, that's fine. In the meantime, we'll play a little game.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's something that I like to call out of context quotes. I'm going to say a quote from a movie, and you guys need to tell me what it's from.
Okay.
So,
why is it out of context?
because there's no context to the quote.
Gotcha.
They're not setting you up with anything.
Gotcha.
All right, so here it is. You find them, you don't be a hero, you come find me, and we'll get them together. That's not the quote. Hold on, let me say it better. You find them, you come find me, don't you go be a hero. And then I'll slowly give you clues.
Is it the accent?
No,
Yeah, the accent kind of...
What kind of accent is
It's
it?
kind of sound like a Boston accent a little bit.
It's supposed to be like Jersey.
Jersey, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
You find them, don't be a hero, come get me.
Matt?
All right, so here's a clue. It's from 1995-ish.
Okay.
It stars Bruce Willis and Jeremy Irons.
Die Hard Part 3?
That's almost the title.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Matt Ray gets it!
Oh, that's some BS
All right,
right
did we
there.
get any questions?
Technicality. No, they're just bashing the show some more.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill Phelps. I love this. Matt G has fans. Hilarious.
Matt
Godish. Ha ha.
Matt offered his Netflix account to listeners a few weeks back and got like 5 or 6 emails asking for his
Wait, this
Matt Godish?
What did I say?
You said we're talking about Matt Godish, not Matt Vitri.
Oh, Matt G.
Other Matt.
Well, they're
Yeah.
both...
They're
I
interchangeable.
like when people make
right?
fun of other Matt. It makes this Matt feel good.
They're interchangeable.
This
Matt
is-
G has
this is
fans?
ridiculous.
No. Do we have any other
How about,
questions?
how about a legitimate question, not
Yeah.
just like...
Where are the girls at? Judy?
Amen.
Where at the girls, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Ray, one final random request?
Oh, geez, I didn't even think about that. The random week request.
With a vengeance. Nice Jonathan Maurer.
Yeah, good job.
How about, so considering Logan is a sequel to I guess it's a
It's like a 7th movie.
7th movie.
Maybe more. I don't know.
I don't want to go into. I would say, how about a movie that, like, the sequel came out way past, and way in advance of,
Way in advance.
not way in advance, like way after the first one came out. So like, the original X-Men came out what, like 2000?
99,
99?
2000, yeah.
So this movie's 17 years afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Name a movie that had a similar situation where the franchise still kept going and it still was good at the end. Now there was some stumbling blocks with X-Men in between, but
Yeah.
that's a really big question.
Yeah.
I've asked so many questions on the show. I'm out of them. I got nothing
I like the
left.
question.
I don't think any franchise has had as many ups and downs and then ups again as X-Men, besides maybe James Bond. The James
what
Bond.
would be the-
But like here's an example, like Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
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 So that's a movie that came out way after the last one first came out,
Right.
and it was awesome. And you can argue that what was the third one called?
Thunderdome?
Thunderdome wasn't that great.
Mm-hmm.
The Road Warrior and Mad Max are great movies. Thunderdome was kind of like a stumbling block. Then they stopped for 30 years, and then they brought another one out, and it was awesome. So
I
an
think
example like that.
Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
There you go.
There you
Star
go.
Wars: Force Awakens is another
Indiana
one.
Jones,
Let's
Kingdom
not,
of the Crystal
let's not
Skull.
give out all the answers, and that doesn't apply.
Joe
that
wants to
movie
know:
sucked.
does the sequel have to be a success?
No.
No.
You just have to
does
have
not.
liked. You just have to have liked it.
Yeah. All right. I think the Wolverine movie will be pretty unique.
Two Jakes.
In film history, as the only film series that with each sequel became a progressively much better movie, because the first movie is such a train wreck of a film, it's not even funny. And
The first X-Men?
No, the
Oh,
first Wolverine.
Wolverine?
I'm considering the Wolverine movies
Yeah.
kind of their own.
All right.
Because there's been,
their
what,
own
4 of them
film.
now?
3.
3.
But so like X-Men Origins Wolverine was disgusting. And then The Wolverine, which was the last one that they did, also directed by James Mangold, And that movie was great. I thought it was awesome. But that movie was like a comic book Wolverine movie. And then this movie, Logan, that came out, is, if you took the claws and stuff out of it and all the violence, you just put a gun in his hand, it still would be just as good. So
yeah, if you have an example of that, let us know.
All right, let's see.
Anyone?
What's that say?
If they make another Weekend of Birdies, then that. Thunderdome, not great. Lies. Matt V. Is the Two Jakes any good?
What's the Two Jakes?
Two Jakes.
Oh,
it's a sequel
that's
to
the
Chinatown.
sequel.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
I never
Directed
saw that
by
either.
Jack Nicholson.
No
Oh,
way.
really?
Yeah.
Is it any good?
It's alright.
Okay.
It's not great,
It's
but
tough
I mean,
to
it's
top
not Chinatown.
It's tough to top Chinatown, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, this has gone on far too long. I don't know how well the Facebook Live experiment went.
It was an experiment, that's
if
for sure.
If you're listening at home, apologies for the references to the Facebook Live thing, but it was kind of an experiment. And check us out at thisweekinfilm.com. And what do you got, Matt? Anything? Your Instagram?
Oh, yeah.
Check
at
out Matt on
Blubrry on
his
Instagram.
Instagram.
Check me out. Hit me up.
Give him a like.
Yeah, give me a little
Email
follow.
him for his Netflix account.
Yeah, email me at matthewvetrie.com for my Netflix account, or if you just want to be friends, hang out,
Matt just needs a friend, guys.
Just get into some stuff,
Someone please be Matt's
some
friend.
shenanigans. I live in the city of Philadelphia. Come hang out.
Oh, we're giving our location.
Yeah, my address. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Ray, parting words?
Yeah, parting words. It's been a lot of fun. I know we haven't done the show in a couple of weeks, but I had a great time. I love talking about movies, and yeah, I'm not going away. I'll be back.
All right.
I hope the show continues on without me,
What was?
and that it gets even better and better as the years go by.
I can't remember how
And
I
I
ended
still,
the show.
I still,
Sounds like you're going to prison.
I still hate Bill Paxton.
All right. Well, if that's the end of the reel, we'll see you. Oh, I remember what it is. If the house lights are coming up, so no, damn it, I can't remember how it went. If that's the end of the reel, we'll see you next week in film.
See ya.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Angry
A lot of
faces.
angry faces.
Why angry faces?
Oh, probably because Ray hates
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton. No, Judy. Ray's dumb.